Next is a very hot topic we're about to go into. It is the baseball unwritten rules. I'm pretty sure everyone's seen it, heard about it, about last night. But, unwritten rules last couple of years have been hot topics, from admiring home runs to bat flips. But then another topic, of course, last night is either do not steal bases or swing at 3-0 when you have a big lead.
Yeah, so last night, Fernando Tatis Jr., he was at the plate. I can't remember what inning it was.
It was the eighth
inning, 1 out. Bases loaded. The count was 3-0, and the next pitch, he hit a grand slam. The other team didn't like it so much. The coach was like, hey, you just don't do that when you're up this much.
Yeah. So the Rangers manager said after the game, he was like, I don't like it personally. You're up 7 the 8th inning. It's typically not a good time, 3-0. It's kind of the way we're all raised in the game, but, norms are being challenged.
Right. And you know what? He's not completely wrong. When we were growing up, if you had a 3-0 count, the coach would typically want you to take the next pitch. But that's not because it's not because of anything crazy. It's because of the fact that he doesn't think he'd rather you walk or get a chance to walk than strike out, or hit one that you could have easily. It would have been exactly. But I think in this situation, look, he's a professional pitcher. If he didn't want him to swing at a 3-0, then he shouldn't have even got a 3-0. He should have made his pitches. And guess what? Fernando knows notoriously, that if you're 3-0, the pitcher's going to throw meat right down the pipe. And guess what? He threw a lollipop, and he took care of it.
And unfortunately, it wasn't down the pipe. It was to the corner. It barely was into the box.
Right, but he knew that he had to make this pitch. He knew there was going to be a fastball in the hitting zone.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. And you know what? I don't see anything wrong with this. I know that I was watching the Mets game earlier, and Keith Hernandez was saying that you don't do that, but he's a hypocrite, because he even said that you got to do what you can to hit the ball. Like you don't let up. But in this situation, he said, yeah, well, 3-0, you don't swing. You swing at 3-1. That doesn't make sense, because if you get 3-1, now you're putting yourself in a hitter's count still, yes. But what if he throws, like Alan was saying, a setup pitch to get you to 3-2, and then you strike out? Look, I think that the coach would not have been saying anything if Fernando Tatis would have swung at that pitch and gotten himself into a double play. He'd be like, oh, great, I'm glad you did that. You got us out of a bind. But instead, he took him deep, and now he's all mad. He's salty.
And then this is another thought, like, why is this issue now? Because he had a huge lead.
Exactly.
Well, early in the season, Mike Trout was 3-0, took a pitch, and hit a home run. Nothing was said.
Right.
Because it wasn't a huge lead, whoop-de-doo.
Look, in today's game, you can't afford to just sit there and walk and then get one run off of it. Look, if he didn't swing and they didn't get anything off of that, and they would have ended up losing the game, then what? Then what would the coach say? Yes, you had a huge lead, but what if they put up an 8 spot or something in the 9th inning and they came back and beat your team? That's why you got to put up more runs than you can handle, because nothing is guaranteed in this game. There are comebacks for a reason. Yes. You can't let up. This not the game to let up on. Your goal is to win games, and as players, you want to keep signing contracts. You want to get paid. You're there for a spot. If you start slipping up, your spot's gone. They'll give it away. They don't care. So that's why he absolutely has to do what his job. If he sees ball, hit ball. I don't see an issue.
I don't either. It's saying not to try 100% to our younger baseball players, to our fans that are watching. So you're telling them not to try your hardest, not to give 100%. Oh, you have a huge lead. Just slack off for the last couple of innings. Let's get this game over with. But we know comebacks are happening. The game's not over till the last out is out. We have seen comebacks. We have seen close games. Like, there's reason for these story moments. Like, if you remember, if you of course watch Moneyball, the horse store game. They were up huge.
Exactly.
And he went to go to the game, and then they blew the lead.
Right, and that could have easily happened last night.
It could have.
Right, and like I said, I just think it's funny that they're crying about this, because it feels like everybody's got to be like, your feelings are hurt over this or something. Like, everybody's got to be like, everybody gets a trophy. No, that's not how it works, man. They're here to win. These are pros. This is a professional game. They got to pad the stats if that's what it takes. But at the end of the day, you want to win. You can't let up. Absolutely not.
And of course, players and other people around the league has, backed Tatis. Like Jeff Passan of ESPN said, if you don't want someone to swing at 3-0, throw a good 3-0 pitch.
Exactly.
And then, of course, let's see. We have Tim Anderson tweeted today that this is why the game doesn't grow. Why the manager doesn't have the back, though, with whatever. The game wasn't over yet. Don't apologize. Next time, let them sit in a, wow, it's so small, a bra. Okay.
Hey, speaking of Tim Anderson, if you're watching, I work with your brother-in-law. We need to hook up with some autographs.
Of course, Trevor Bauer had to tweet something.
Of course.
So he, wow, I didn't know it was that small. Do. He said, "Hey, Tatis, listen up. Keep swinging 3-0 if you want to, no matter what the game situation. Keep hitting homers no matter what the situation is. Keep bringing energy and the flash to baseball and making it fun. The only thing you did wrong was apologize. Stop
Agreed.
that."
100%. Trevor Bauer's right on point.
And then Colin McGraw of the Red Sox said, "Swinging 3-0 count should not be against any rules no matter what the score is. Before a game, I would always to see what percentage a guy swings 3-0. If it's over 20%, it means I can't just groove one. The guys who never give you a pitch at the plate are the toughest at-bats."
And I'm sure that Tim Anderson also said that because he also hit 2 home runs last night. But also, I agree. Oh, man, I lost my train of thought there.
So, and then my last one I have is Johnny Bench. So you take a pitch. You're now 3-1. Then the pitcher comes back with a great setup pitch. It's 3-2. Now you're ready to ground out into a double play. Everyone could hit a 3-0 grand slam are huge stats.
Exactly. And yeah, so that's what I'm saying. If everybody thinks that this is a bad idea to not swing at 3-0, then why not make it a rule that when you get to 3-0, then you automatically go to 3-1? That's dumb. Think about what I just said. If you think 3-0, you're supposed to automatically take a strike, then why not make it a rule to make 3-0 automatically 3-1 count? See, doesn't make sense to you, doesn't make sense to me. Go ahead and swing at 3-0.
Yeah. And then this whole unwritten rules, and then if you think about, and then I know you've seen this, other people might have seen this too, we'll post it on the video of all these, is Instagram story said, so the Rangers are mad about Tatis swinging on 3-0 up 7. But don't forget the Rangers beat the Orioles 30-3 a couple years ago.
Exactly. You don't let up. I don't care. And I know a couple years ago there was like a coach for some girls' high school team. He got fired after he let his team beat them 100-0. Well, you know what? Look, this is a competition. If you don't want to be embarrassed, I don't know what to tell you, but you got to do better. It's just we're getting soft as a country and everything.
These trophies,
unearned trophies. That's what it is.
Yeah, I didn't care about the trophies we got. Yeah, it was cool we got a trophy, but we didn't do nothing when we played T-ball, so it wasn't meaningful. Like I said, if you were in a competition like you said in rec sports or something, and your team comes in dead last, you shouldn't get a trophy for that. The guys who won should get a better trophy. Yeah, like
everybody should get the same thing.
Yeah,
you're competing for a reason to be better, to win. It's not teaching you anything.
No,
when everybody gets the same stuff.
No, yeah,
this is the mentality we have.
And then the whole unwritten rules about other things like, the bat flips. We talked about this before on this channel.
It's all they seem to think everything is disrespectful right now.
So it's disrespectful if a batter flips a bat. But it's not disrespectful for a pitcher to pump his fist, scream and everything, come off the mound after a huge strikeout.
Exactly. Or stare them down, too, as they get out.
Yeah.
Right. And that's exactly what they do. A pitcher throws you out. He's yelling. He's thanking God. He's looking at you like, I just struck you out. And that's not disrespectful, but a simple home run, I got the better of you, and I throw my bat in the air. It's nuts, man.
Yeah, like Tim Anderson said, this is why the sport is not growing. Football, basketball, everyone who celebrates, let players be themselves, have grown. But baseball, they're stuck. There's the slow growth scale.
Yeah, and I completely agree with the unwritten rule stuff. I mean, some of them, yes. Like for example, you hit our guy, we're gonna hit your guy. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But a 3-0 count, that's dead. Today's day and age, you have to swing. You got if it's there and you see it right. Don't hold back. That's not what you train for. You train to see ball, hit ball. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, because who knows? That next pitch might be up in the zone, hitting you in the face, and you might be done with your career.
Exactly.
You never know what's going to happen in baseball or anything. You got to take life when you take it. If it's a 3-0 pitch, they hit you a grand slam, who cares?
Exactly. So. Take every pitch like it's a 3-1 count. And that's what he did.
Exactly. So good for him, And then the funny thing is, in the first inning, today's game, Padres hit another grand slam, but it was Will Myers. But then Tatis stole third base.
When they were winning
by
6-0. He stole third.
Yeah, it's like he does not care. We need that.
And he shouldn't. And look, they might retaliate and hit him or whatever the case may be, but they need to get over it.
Well, I didn't notice because, it was a late game, was after he did that, they threw behind Machado.
They did. They threw behind Machado. Yeah.
So the manager got one game, and then that reliever
suspension.
got 3, I think. Right. But come on, it's whatever. Get over it.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, feel I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that's a stick up. She picture perfect, so I told him I'm a flick up.